What up, guys? Alchemist here. It's something nice for you. So right now I'm recording this live, so I may be a little bit distracted on saying what I need to say for the full build. But y'all asked for live footage. Y'all asked for gameplay of the builds before I break it down and show you guys. So that's what I'm doing, okay? Today we have a busted, and I'm not exaggerating. It's not just, you know, freaking buzzwords. We got a busted stasis build right now that I made for you guys that can be used in hard-to-end content. It's -30. You can take it in raids and dungeons as well. I seen someone comment that about making builds for raids and dungeons. All the builds I make for raids and dungeons, unless you're talking about DPS builds, all my builds are raids and dungeons. I make sure they're good for hard-to-end content. Okay. Y'all must not know about me for I've been doing these Destiny videos for a long time, but I got a whole playlist for them. But this build right here is insane. If you look for DPS, look, guys, truth is DPS right now. Just use truth, okay? But anyway, as y'all see right now in the gameplay footage, I'm just destroying these enemies like paper, okay? And y'all will see even more insane when we get to the boss. We at the boss now. Now watch this craziness. Watch this craziness finna happen against this boss. That's all I can say. Watch this craziness. So I'm just getting these crystals out here, right? And now I'm gonna throw this on the ball. Look at this damage. Insane. Just for one grenade. One grenade. And I did that dumb damage. And we do it again. Like, ridiculous. Don't run away from me. He running away. Hold on. We gotta get to him. He ruining the smooth transition of us just nuking the boss non-stop and killing him, okay? Go over here. Throw this at the boss. Now we throw the shurikens. Shade step. Throw the shuriken again. Throw the grenade. Throw the shuriken again. Look. Come on now. Shoot these. Oh. Wyvern dead. Come on now. The man thought he was going to survive. Man thought he had a life to live. No, your life is my life. Okay? I tell you what to do. Nuke the boss health that easily. Throw another shuriken. And you see I have infinite uptime on all my abilities. I'm rolling, throwing grenades, rolling, throwing grenades, like, oh, shurikens, of course. But, you know, I am a ninja. Ooh. Only someone would know. And boss is dead. Okay? So, the build gonna speak for itself. I'm gonna break every layer of it down right now. Iceman no longer a nice man. Now I'm hot and cold. Y'all, we got a broken stasis build today. And I'm actually kind of surprised how much damage it actually does and how good it actually works. Usually stasis is a defensive class, but now in this final sandbox, it is very offensive. It's kind of insane. All because of them adding that one new stasis grenade. Okay, so let's break this build down brick by brick. First, the exotic we're running is Mask of Fealty. Okay, the exotic perk says Withering Blades, which is our stasis melee. Hits and bounces create a small stasis crystal and refund a portion of melee energy. Using Withering Blade to shatter crystals or frozen targets, release a spread of Withering Blades. So if I throw the crystal on the ground, my melee at the ground and make crystal, and if I hit the crystal with a melee, it makes multiple shurikens that also make even more crystals. Okay? Very important in this build. It does the same thing when you hit frozen targets as well. You do not have to aim at the crystal, but just a good example to show you guys. Okay? Now, the stats you're going for in this build. You want 100 melee, because you don't want to, we ain't really worried about damage with the melee. You can get above that if you get the perfect armor set, but you want to try to get 170 grenade, 100 melee, and your class stat gonna end up being above 100 because of the armor set you're going for. The armor set you're going for is demolitionist, so that's grenade and class ability stats. So that's what you're going for, and you're going for a temporary stat being melee. You want the temporary stat being melee so that you get 100 melee stat in this build, okay? But that's the stats you're going for in this build. 100 melee, 170 grenade, and then 100 class, okay? Anything above 100 class, you're going to end up with that regardless, and you'll get an overshield whenever you shade step, which is good, okay? Now, the weapon we're using in this build. The only weapon you need in this build is Wicked Implement. You don't need the catalyst, but the catalyst is very good. But you want Wicked Implement, because Wicked Implement makes it that it creates stasis shards from destroying crystals and killing enemies with precision final blows. Okay, so that's very important in this build. So we want to make as many stasis shards as possible. Your other weapons, I just recommend them being solar weapons, but it can be whatever you want it to be. Okay, now artifact. You're probably wondering, Alchemist, why we're using Infinite of Curiosity? Isn't there better artifacts that has better stasis perks like Hailstorm and stuff, right? Yes, but no. Okay, I've been preaching this since this artifact came out, Infinite of Curiosity, back in Edge of Fate when it first dropped. This artifact is so busted because of one artifact perk, which is Refresh Threads. Refresh Threads is so broken and people sleep on it too much. It says picking up an elemental pickup matching your subclass element, or picking up a tangle while you have a strand super equipped grants energy to your least charged ability. Stasis shards have no cooldown. It's just like Iron Traces. It have no cooldown. So you can make infinite stasis shards as long as you have ways to make stasis shards. Okay, that's why we using Wicked Implement, and that's why we're using Elements to Coalescence. Defeating the target has a chance to create elements to pick up matching your equipped super element. Okay, we're using these because if I decide to just use my melee, right? Sorry, still sick. If I decide to just use my melee non-stop, and I shoot these crystals with Wicked Implement, and I just keep spamming my melee, these crystals I'm getting, as you can see how quick my melee is coming back. I have an infinite amount of melee no matter what. I will never ever be out of melees. Ever. Okay? It's impossible. It's impossible to be ever out of melees. All because of Refresh Threads in the artifact. As long as I keep getting stasis shards, my least charge ability will be giving me ability energy. That's why I'm able to spam the abilities like I am in this build while ever having downtime. I throw my melees, shade step, get my melees back, get into the shard, get my shade step back. I throw my grenade comes back, picking up these shards. I can spam my abilities non-stop simply because of those two artifact perks working together. We have on Frost Renewal, which is very clutch in the sandbox because of how Frost Armor got buffed up to give us 50% damage resist now when you have times 7 stacks. So whenever I get critical health, I do a Frost Pulse around me that frees all the enemies around me. It gives me Frost Armor and my teammates Frost Armor. So basically, this is always going to refresh your Frost Armor, and you should be having times 7 regardless. So they're going to refresh that times 7. And Stasis Shards give you small bumps of health as well while you pick them up. So this making that survivability in this build is dumb crazy, okay? We have a Cauterized Darkness. This is very important in this build. Stasis or strand debuff non-boss combatants take increased solar damage from all sources. The increased damage is 75%. Why is this important? Because the armor set I recommend you guys use in this build is the 7 Seraph armor set. You get this from doing Cosmodrome. Do the Lost Sector on Master difficulty, or wait for the Disruption event to happen on Cosmodrome and farm the public events. The 7 Seraph set make it that final blow for area effect damage, which is literally shatter damage. Solar abilities, 7 Seraph weapons or Icolos weapons grant Warmind charges. Each stack of Warmind charge increase your weapon and grenade stats. So at times 10 that this stack can go up to, it will make your weapon and grenade stat go up by plus 30. That's why I say aim for 170 grenade stat, because when you get times 10 stacks with Rasputin's Wrath, you will have 200 grenade stat. So that gives you a lot more wiggle room to put your stats into other things in your build. The 4 piece is the most important part though, Rasputin Reprisal, which says, while you have Warmind charges, defeating powerful combatants, destroying a construct, or destroying a tangle releases a solar detonation that damages combatants and heal allies. It's doing solar explosion, solar damage. So it's getting buffed up by Cauterized Darkness by 75%. Okay? And stasis crystals are considered constructs. So as long as I'm doing shadow damage non-stop, which is the whole point of stasis, if I get to shadow kill, y'all see I got Warmind charge down there. Now, as I get more shatter kill, y'all see an explosion. Y'all see that Rasputin explosion, Warmind explosion. It's doing dumb damage and one shot a lot of enemies and do dumb damage to bosses because of it. Okay? So that's just the combo loop. That making the Rasputin explosion do dumb damage with Colorado Darkness. So now the Shadow doing a lot of damage, and the Colorado Darkness is with the Rasputin explosions. Well, Warmind explosions are included with the Shadow damage, just nuking rooms. Okay, Hailstorm increased Shadow damage. In case you're wondering, Hailstorm artifact perk increase Shadow damage by 25%. This Colorado Darkness combo with the Warmind armor set is 75% blast damage. Way better. Way better. And again, you can use solo weapons like I'm using, like Hezen's Vengeance and Ringing Nail, to do even more 75% damage to targets that's not bosses. Okay, we have an Elemental Day, so when I stun a champion and do a Stasis Explosion that frees people and stuff and whatnot. We got on Elemental Overdrive, so when I pick up a Stasis Shard and increase my Stasis weapon damage. And then we got on Shield Crush, so whenever I have Frost Armor on, and increase my melee recharge rate and damage by 25%. So, you know, so I can throw more Stasis Shurikens. Okay, you could change like Elemental Overdrive to Fever and Chill. So when you get solar weapons, final blows or precision hits, you will get Radiant. It's like 3 final blows to get the Radiant, but precision hits you gotta get a couple and then Radiant, right? You get Radiant, and then that makes Shield Crush increase your grenade damage and recharge rate by 25%. So dealer's choice, up to you what you want to do. I just like Elemental Overdrive and I'm spamming Wicked Implement. Okay, subclass Gambler's Dodge, obviously to get our Shurikens back. Okay, we got on Shadow Grenade. Shadow Grenade, the new grenade. You get this from the stranger on freaking Europa. Just talk to her. She give you your stasis stuff. You can get the grenade. Boom, you're done. Elizabeth, I think her real name, Elsa, whatever her name is. I'm thinking of freaking Frozen. Said Elsa. This grenade make it that hitting a frozen target shatters it instantly and deals bonus damage, right? So you want to freeze the target with your shuriken first, and then throw your grenade at them to do dumb damage. And I promise you can one-shot champions and nuke bosses with this. If the shrapnels from this shadow grenade bounce the right way, you can literally do insane damage to bosses while ever using like heavy ammo and stuff like that, right? Also too, this is like a sticky grenade. So even though these enemies not frozen, I can throw the grenade at them right now and it will freeze them instantly and then blow up and still get the job done. Okay, so keep that in mind. We got on Grim Harvest, so picking up Stasis Shard give us Frost Armor, but also too, while we have Frost Armor, defeating combatants with Stasis weapons cause them to shatter and damage your nearby foes. So this does even more with the Rasputin explosions. And then Shatter has a chance to get even more Frost Armor, and then take your damage while you have Frost Armor generates class ability energy, which allows us to chase that even more to spam our shurikens. Okay. Also too, with the War Mine explosions, if you're near the splash damage of the explosion of the War Mines, you do get health. So sometimes it's best to just run in, you know, guns blazing, throwing your shurikens and hitting the station crystals, not caring about the damage you take, because you will be getting healed by the explosions you're doing with the War Mine explosions from the armor set. And then we have on Touch of Winter. This buffs up the Shadow Grenade and making that and make additional shrapnel projectiles on detonations. And hitting frozen target with this grenade refunds some grenade energy, so we're able to spam it even more. So this make the grenade nuke even more and kill people. I killed Unstoppable Champion from just one grenade throwing it at him before. It's literally that crazy. Okay. We got Fragments, Whisper of Rhyme. Frost Armor, increased duration and maximum stacks. This making that we get times 7. This give us that 50% damage reduction. Once you buffed up Frost Armor, so now it's 50%. Insane. Without the 7 stacks, I think it's like 35%. Still good. We got Whisper of Torment on, so you gain grenade energy each time you take damage from targets. Don't sleep on this perk. It's a lot of grenade energy. The eternal cooldown on this is very short, so as enemies keep pelting you or doing take damage to you, your grenade racks up very fast. And the more Frost Armor you have on, the more energy you get back for your grenade. That help us spam our grenade dumb often. Okay, we got on Whisper Charge, shattering the Stasis Crystal temporary boost our grenade recharge rate. So this making that our grenade come back quicker as well. So this help us get our grenade back non-stop spamming, more capabilities. And then we got Whisper Conduction on, so we don't have to worry about picking up the shards around us. They just come to us, so that we can just spam our abilities without thinking about, oh, I need to run and pick up the shards, and our Frost Armor stay on 24/7. Okay. The mods we have on Hands-On and Asher Asset to give us some super energy. We got on Harmonic Siphon, so that when we do kill people with Wicked Implement, we make an orb power. But trust me, this build is not about making orbs. This build is just getting your ability back as quick as possible and spamming it. Okay. We have an Impact Induction, 2 of them, so that whenever we do melee damage with our shurikens, it gives grenade energy. And then we have on 1 Momental Transfer, so when we cause them for our grenade, we get melee energy. This helps to loop out even more with spamming your melee, grenade, shade step 24/7, spamming abilities. Chest piece, you just got your resist mods on. Okay. Leg piece, we got on elemental charge. Because we're making so many stasis shards, the stasis shards will be giving us armor charges for our 1 stasis weapon surge. If you decide to go with any other blue mods in your armor set, you can. That's all on you. Okay. We have on innovation, so whenever we do pick up orb power from our teammates, most likely, because we won't be making that many orbs, it'll give you grenade energy. Okay. Last item, we have on 2 bomber mods on, so whenever we shade step, we get grenade energy back as well, not just our melee energy, so that we can spam grenades and melees even more often again. And then we got on Reaper to make orb power whenever we get a weapon kill. That's the full build, guys. That's everything you need to know. Go use this build, okay? The damage insane. I think the fun part about this build is when you have max stacks of 7 Seraph, okay, and a boss comes out. If you pop your Stasis Super, the Stasis Super keeps shattering the boss non-stop, the Hunter Super, which keep triggering the War Mine explosions, which keep doing dumb damage to the boss from all the Shatter and War Mine explosions together. Sure, the Color of Darkness don't work on bosses, but it does work on champions and stuff. So if you use your super and stuff on a champion, it nukes them, okay? But your grenade is what really nukes bosses. All them shrapnels, bouncing off the wall and hitting the boss, because the boss got a big body, dumb damage. If you can get the grenade in a perfect spot on the boss where when it blows up, it has no choice but to bounce off like on the bottom of the, between like the boss feet or whatever, legs, between his legs, try to get between the crotch if you can, if you will. All the shrapnel will blow up and hit the boss instead of bouncing off everywhere else, and it would do dumb nuke damage to him, okay? Especially if you're in a closed room, like a cave or a room or some crap, it's doing dumb damage, okay? This build is insane, and I highly recommend you use it. Love you guys, appreciate you guys always, and until next time, stay up.